Russell, a company complete and self-sufficient, one of the few of its kind in the world. On March 3rd, 1902, Russell Manufacturing Company was founded by Benjamin Russell. Of medium height, lean and tan, he was just anyone, until you looked into his eyes. Truly a man of vision. That vision began in this building with the purchase of 8 knitting machines and 6 sewing machines, all second-hand. With a handful of inexperienced workers, Benjamin Russell entered into the world of apparel manufacturing. Their first product was this ladies' knit vest, which cost the company $1 to make, although it was selling in the market for only 60 cents. Realizing there was a problem somewhere in the manufacturing process, Benjamin Russell, with the help of his employees, set out to correct it. And that's just what they did. Despite those problems in the early days, Russell was soon riding on a wave of success. As the company prospered, it began to expand its interests. In 1908, construction began on Russell's first spinning mill so the company could produce its own yarn. Raw materials of the highest quality were purchased and processed into yarn for knitting. Many improvements have been made over the years in spinning, and the number of spinning mills has grown to meet the demand for Russell products. There are now 7 mills dedicated to yarn production, housing some of the most advanced spinning technology in the world. With the onset of the 1930s came an America held hostage in the grips of the Great Depression. Not so for Russell Manufacturing Company, which had been expanding its product line since 1925. 1930 brought to Russell Manufacturing Company the need for a rapid expansion program, including a new knitting room and brand new machines that knitted cloth for athletic apparel. By 1938, this department was also making woven athletic garments, including baseball uniforms and football trousers, even basketball warm-up suits. Although the knitting machines of the 1930s may look similar to those found in Russell's single knit complex, today's equipment is state-of-the-art. Russell's commitment to technology helps give us the winning edge, both on and off the field. Our Russell athletic lines of teamwear and activewear apparel have become the ones to watch, whether you're running for the winning touchdown or just running to the supermarket. Gaining the respect in the marketplace that the name Russell Athletic commands is no easy task. It takes years of developing fabrics, testing styles, and commitment to quality, such as the one made by Benjamin Russell and his dedicated employees back in 1902. In 1945, in the corner of a room, Russell's first lab was established to set up quality standards for the yarn and cloth. New equipment was added as the lab's responsibilities grew to include detailed testing of yarn fibers and finished cloth throughout the manufacturing process. Today, the Russell Lab plays an even bigger role in the quality of our garments. This picture of modern technology illustrates extensive testing on the strength of the cloth, the percent of expected shrinkage, and the fading resistibility of each different cloth for all colors. As the Russell Manufacturing Company began to expand its lines to include garments requiring color, it needed the ability to dye and finish its own cloth. The bleachery started out with one crude wooden bleaching keer in the basement of the first mill. One homemade dye vat was added in 1925, but it soon became apparent that more and better equipment was needed to handle the growing demands for bleaching and dyeing services. In order to provide adequate space for this equipment, the bleachery was added to the woven goods finishing plant in 1927. The facility was modernized after the war in the 1940s. In 1954, 116,000 pounds of fabric were being bleached, dyed, and finished every week. Today, that amount is 1,300,000 pounds per week. However, this still isn't enough to meet our needs. Currently under construction in Alexander City is a new dyeing and dry finishing plant. This is expected to handle 2 million pounds of cloth per week. Finished cloth went from the bleachery to the sewing mills. Here, the cloth was laid out on tables and cut by hand from patterns traced on the material. Although many of our products are still cut by hand, we are now using the automation of BRB cutters to cut the majority of our t-shirt and fleece cloth for sewing. And An addition to BRB cutting will be housed in the new dyeing and finishing plant mentioned earlier in Alexander City. The high-tech plant is currently employing a different kind of cutting machine. Numerically controlled, it cuts up to 24 plies of fabric at one time. This computer-driven machine cuts approximately 5 times as fast as a manual cutter. Although the concept of sewing lines hasn't changed much in the last few decades, sewing aid technology has. High-tech is the home of the latest in automatic sewing machines that greatly increase sewing efficiency. The mills are all equipped with fast, modern sewing equipment, as well as the ongoing implementation of a computerized payroll system. This system was developed by Russell employees to eliminate the need for sticker sheets used by piece rate employees. It has already proven itself effective in saving time and money. In the past, the inspection and folding of garments was done at the same station. In many of Russell's mills today, the functions have been separated, allowing the folders to maintain their speed and keeping the inspections thorough. Russell also has a number of automatic machines which fold and package the garments for shipping. The Russell Manufacturing Company started out small, with 8 knitting machines and 6 sewing machines, all second-hand. But it is a company that allowed itself to change with the times and grow with technology. The Russell you see today is still growing, employing over 11,000 in 34 facilities located throughout 3 states. From receiving and grading of cotton to facilitating the shipping of our finished goods, Russell does it all. Russell has always been a vertically operated company, producing whatever it needed to operate within the company rather than purchasing it from outside vendors. In 1963, Russell began to sell company stock on the public exchanges. This gave Russell the available capital to expand at a much faster rate. Thus, a commitment was made to modernize every aspect of manufacturing. The result has allowed us to increase our production tremendously while maintaining our high standards of quality using the most technologically advanced systems available in the field of apparel manufacturing today. We're also striving to provide the best customer service available, all at competitive prices. Russell Athletic has you covered, so come home in Russell Athletic and show them what the winners wear.